The subject I want to talk to you about today is anchoring, okay? It's so important, and I feel like a newsreader. So the biggest issue is that we're always trying to make changes in our life, make changes for the better. But the issue is we're doing this consciously. We're trying to consciously change the way we behave, whether it's eating the crisps, whether it's going for the chocolate bar, whether it's procrastinating. We're doing it very, very consciously. And when we're trying to do things consciously, it's hard work, and we have to be in a very good place to be able to make them changes. The only time we actually make positive moves, or do things that we want to do, is when we're in a good state. I say good state, good mood or good character. And what happens when we're not in that good place, when we're not in that good mood? You're going to do things that are not great for you. You are going to eat that chocolate, you are going to have the crisps, you are going to drink the wine, you are going to procrastinate and sit on the sofa and watch Netflix all day. So how can we change this? How can we do this? And we need to be able to condition these responses. We need to be able to do them subconsciously. We need to be able to reinstall that pattern of behavior in a subconscious level, so when we are feeling down, we can change our state like that and do something positive and make that a habit. So we do this by what we call anchoring positive behavior. So what is anchoring? I think before we actually go into that, I think we need to understand that we are constantly anchoring ourselves to certain things, certain behaviors around us all the time. If something happens to you consistently and persistently, and you are in a high state of an emotion, whether it's negative or positive, we are going to be anchored to that. So let me explain that a little bit more. We have a bad day at work. We come in on a Monday, had a really, really bad day at work, and your partner goes, "How are you doing?" Tuesday, bad day at work, your partner comes in, or you come in and your partner says to you, "How are you doing?" This happens for a month, every day for a month, okay? Bad day, you come home from work, your partner says how you're doing. That anchor of your husband saying, or your partner saying, "How are you doing?" and you're in that emotional state, that will anchor that feeling. So you could be walking down the street, or you could be at a party with your partner having a great time, and your partner says to you, "How are you doing?" Boom, straight away, you're straight into a negative. You're straight into that feeling that you had when you come home from work on that consistent basis. Let me explain it another way. You've heard of Pavlov's dog theory, haven't you? The dogs are hungry, he clicks the bell. The dogs are hungry, he clicks a clicker or rings a bell. And he continually does this on a consistent and persistent basis. And after a while, he clicks the bell and the dogs come for the food, because that bell says there's going to be food there. So they're hungry, he feeds them, clicks the bell. The dogs are hungry, he feeds them, clicks the bell. And consistently and persistently, he clicks the bell, the dogs are there at his beck and command. So this is what we call anchoring. And it's really, really important, and I can't stress it enough, we are anchoring all the time. You see, the best people for anchoring are advertisers. People who put the adverts on TV, they are anchoring you all the time. They are creating a feeling around their product. They're not advertising their product, they are advertising a feeling around that product. And then they anchor you to it with music, with senses, with sounds. So whenever you hear that sound, you are getting anchored to the feeling. Whenever you see the product, you are getting anchored to the feeling. Whenever you hear that piece of music, they're playing with the thing, they're anchoring you to the feeling, to the product. It's happening all the time. They spend billions of pounds anchoring you to buy their product. So we need to create our own anchors. And these are going to be more powerful than their anchors, because we're creating them. So how do we create these anchors? How do we create these positive anchors in our life? The first thing we must do, we must be able to put ourselves in a peak state, a peak mood, a peak character, okay? So I want you to go back and I want you to remember a time when you felt so freaking amazing. You felt like you could take on the world. whether that would be bringing home your first child or your second child or your third child. I don't know how many you've got. Whether you actually won the lottery, when you got married, or you bought your first house, or anything along them lines, something that made you feel like you was unstoppable, okay? And I want you to put yourself in that state. I want you to feel what you felt, smell what you smelt, taste what you taste, and you felt what you felt, taste what you taste, hear what you heard what you heard, and I want you to feel that going through your entire body. Really put yourself back there, and we need to be there 100%, because the stronger that emotional feeling is in your body, the stronger the anchor's gonna be. If we go, yeah, I'm happy, yeah, I'm there, it ain't gonna work. It's not gonna be as strong as just, yes, I feel that, I am there, I am strong, I am powerful, I'm feeling all that feeling going from my body. I can sense every sense tingling going from, I am strong, I'm there. That's what I want you to feel, okay? And if you're finding that hard to do, practice it. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Keep going back, putting yourself in that situation, feeling it. If you have to fake it till you make it, do it. Make it bigger, make it brighter, make it more powerful. Once you've got that, and once you're at that peak state and you can feel yourself there, I want you to do a unique move. That unique move can go, wah, pull your ear, wah, pull your ear. Every time you do it, pull your ear. Or pull the skin on the back of your hand, or pinch your thumb. Something that nobody else would do to you. Because if we shook your hand, we clapped your hands together, and when you're at a party, it's going to diminish the power of it. We need to find something that's unique to you. Mine, I punch my fist, because nobody really ever punches my fist. Or I bang my chest. That triggers my anchors, and that makes me feel strong. That makes me feel powerful, and it puts me in a positive mood. Yeah? So we need to find that place where we were. And I've got loads of them now. I've got loads of them in my head, so I can just trigger them. I've got one, I've got this one. Punch my fist in the air, makes me feel good. Even standing up and being strong like that, that triggers an anchor for me, and it makes me feel like I'm unstoppable. It puts me in that state where I don't need to do the negative stuff. And it doesn't have to be pinch your pull here. You can anchor yourself to music, you can anchor yourself to smells, you can anchor yourself to anything. Any of the senses that we've got, you can use them to anchor. One of my strongest anchors is the song John Farnham, The Voice. That's the one. Can you hear it? That just gives me goosebumps. It raises my energy levels up to so high that if I'm feeling I need that motivation, I need that energy, I will put that on. Because you don't think we are in a positive state 24/7. Me and Loz are not. We are like you guys. We have ups, we have downs, but I'm committed to you guys. I'm committed to helping you and doing my best and putting myself at 100% peak state for you every single time. So when I do these videos, I sat upstairs, I'm like, do I really want to do the videos? Do I really want to go on stage and do the talk? Do I really want to do this? Yeah, I do. I do want to do it, but I'm not in the mood to do it. But I have to be. So literally, I have just put John Farnham, The Voice on upstairs, and it's put me in state to come and talk to you now. I'm here because I want to serve you and for you guys to get this subject, to understand this subject, so you can implement it and not have to feed or rely on the negative anchor or be controlled by the negative anchors, I think is a better word. We don't want you to be controlled by them. I want you to take control of your own life. I want you to have the anchors that you have decided to have, not the ones the advertising marketers have decided to give you. But my question to you is, are you prepared to do this? Are you prepared to get yourself into that peak state? That needs to happen, because as I said, the higher that peak state is, the more strong that peak state is, the stronger the anchor will be to that. And we need to make our anchors unique. and they need to be the same every time, because if I pinch myself on the back of my hand and I lock that anchor in, got into state, pinch the hand, got into state, pinch the hand, got into state, pinch the hand, and then I tap myself on the shoulder, I'm not gonna anchor that peak state into this shoulder by doing it in this hand, if that makes sense. For instance, at a funeral, at my dad's funeral, as you can imagine, you're really low, you're depressed, you feel like shit. Everyone comes along, you're all right, Baz. Everything will be all right, Baz. Things will get better, Baz. That mood's not gonna last, Baz. All this way, yeah? You can see what's happening. I'm in a low mood, bam. I'm on a low mood, bam. I'm on a low mood, bam. I'm on a low mood, bam. I go to a party, a friend comes to me, you all right, Baz? Bam, low mood. They triggered my anchor. Yeah? And we need to be aware of this. But going back to your anchors need to be the same. They need to be the same strength, the same power, the same commitment to it. So if I went boom, I'm in states, yeah? And then I went totally different feeling, different connection, different anchor. I'm not going to get anything from just doing this. I have to go. You can hear the difference. That's what gets me into state. And you can tell now by me doing this, it changes the way I act. It changes my thoughts. It changes my feelings. But can you hear the difference? It changes the way I speak. I'm more positive. I'm more upbeat. I'm more direct to you, because this is what it does to me. It makes me change. Boom. And when I'm in this mood, I can do anything. Even the thought of having chocolate or biscuits or crisps doesn't even enter my mind, because that is my power move. Gets me into the place I want to be to do what I need to do. Just remember, how we behave determines the state we're in. Let me say that again. Remember, how we behave determines the state we are in. So looking back on this, guys, by triggering these anchors, it makes it a subconscious behavior. Because we don't need to think about what we need to do. We need to think about our states. And if we're in a good state, then everything else runs off of that. If we're in a negative state, we're going to perform negative and we're going to do the crap things. If we're in a positive state, we're going to do positive things. So by doing these anchors, what it's doing is it's changing the way we feel. It's changing our emotional states. So learn this, learn to trigger them, because yes, we do have, we're not always in positive states. But what we need to do is be aware of it when we need it. And I'm not saying be positive all the time or not be negative all the time, be both. But don't let the negative states roll on to create a negative behavior. As soon as we feel negative and we feel like something negative we're going to be performing, bam, change your state. Let's move this way. Let's get out of Shitsville and move positive. Let's become positive, and then we perform positively. Okay? So embed them new anchors. Get yourself into peak state. And I mean peak. And when you're at the peak, fire the anchor off. Fire it off when you're at peak state. Yeah? More times you do it, the better it's going to be. The stronger the state, the stronger the anchor, the stronger it's going to be. Okay? Play it out 110%. Put everything into it. If it's the only thing you put 100% into, do it here. So have fun with it, guys. Play around with them. Be good. And we'll see you on the next one.